Hi, my name is Roop Rai, and you're watching Murgi Dal Barabar. How are you guys? So today we were going to talk about another love topic. We were going to decode love stories. But since we've been talking about love the entire week, we thought we'd give it a break and come back to real life. Mars rover Perseverance, also lovingly known as Percy, has landed today. So we're going to talk to Pavan about that Mars rover. We're going to find out why it is so important, why people are celebrating, why did NASA invest the last 7 years or 8 years into this project, why are people trying to get to Mars in the first place. So we're going to get all those questions answered. Let me bring Pavan onto the screen. Welcome back.
Oh, sorry. Hi.
Hi. You're a permanent fixture on TC Sound now. I think
where are my $1 million you promised?
They're coming. But yeah, I think there's as much as Pavan as much as there is Roop now. So I always joke to Pavan about this. I said, if you become a superstar, then please make sure that you don't leave me, because we didn't sign any NDA. So please make sure don't leave me and go start your own channel. I don't think I'd be very happy with that, Pavan. So you're staying.
Shivaji Maharaj ki jai. I would not do that.
Today, are we Marathi?
Yeah, we are Marathi. Shivaji Maharaj ki jai.
All right. Shivaji Maharaj ki jai, absolutely. Before we start talking, just wanted to let you guys know, please follow this page, like and follow Facebook page, and like and follow us on YouTube, like and follow us on Instagram at TCSan2. Instagram at TCSan2, YouTube TCSan2, Facebook TCSan2. Please do hit that like button if you haven't done already. If you hit that like button whenever we go live, you get a notification and you can come here, join us in the conversations and ask questions as well, which I hope that people will ask questions today. So let's talk about this Mars rover. And also, if you like this video, you will win $50 courtesy Calgary Service Plumbers. Let's play their ad as well right now, and then we'll start chatting. It is to win $50. So please do like this video and you can win up $50. And I do the draw every weekend. All right, let's come to the Mars rover.
Aren't we talking about love? Isn't that what you're...
that was your topic. That was the topic that was given to you. So we had decided, like I said, to talk about love. We were going to decode love stories in Bollywood movies and in Hollywood movies, and we were going to talk about how that's... Well, he was going to say how that's absolute nonsense, and I was going to say that, no, I love them. I love them to pieces. Like, they make me so happy, so let me watch them. So that's what we were going to do, but obviously plans changed because NASA did something really cool. So and today at 2 p.m. Calgary time, or it was 4 p.m. ET, NASA landed its Perseverance. It's called the rover on Mars. So let's talk about it. Oh, there it is. That's I think NASA released that simulation. That's not actual picture of the rover. So
that's the actual picture of the rover. That's not the landing.
But it's not the actual landing picture.
There is no photographer standing there in Mars.
To take pictures of the rover landing. All right, so let's talk about, let's start with what is the importance, what is so special about this rover that everyone's going gaga about it?
So Mars rover has a bit of a history, but this is the name is very, very significant in this Perseverance. So NASA did a contest with the kids and to come up with names, and 2 kids came up we'll talk about the other one, but the name for Perseverance was chosen, and the reason why Perseverance was chosen is this is one of the beginnings of trying to establish a base in Mars. So that's the reason Perseverance. So um, that signifies that humanity's first step in trying to understand what goes into sustaining a human uh, endurance or a human base, a camp in Mars. That's where that's the significance of this. This is like a first step towards a human camp or a human base in Mars. That's the big, huge
So
significance.
why is this the first step? I mean, they've sent many rovers before, and many, of course, crash landed too, and they've been trying since 1960s.
Yeah.
And recently, I think they've been successful, 6 times, but recently the Curiosity that they sent in 2012,
12.
I remember. Yeah, so it was, I think they launched it in November 2011, and it landed sometime in 2012. It takes up to 6 to 7 months.
Yeah.
So
So they try to, there is a window of Mars which is the closest to Earth. It happens around 7 or 8 years, every 7 or 8 years. Usually it's a year to travel, but when you're closer to each other, it's 8 months travel. So whenever you're trying to launch to Mars, you try to hit that window.
yeah, so the last time it was in 2011, and this time it was in 2020. So
Yeah.
it's 9 years.
Yeah.
So what is, so like, you said that this is the first step. So are you saying Perseverance is the first step, or a Mars rover is the first step in general?
No, Mars rovers, this is the fourth generation of rovers which have been going there. So endurance was the endurance. There are twin endurances they were launched in 2006 or so. So they died. So they thought that they would be living only for 6 months or so, but they lived for more than 7 or 8 years. So what this is the thing is, they thought that in winter. Okay, so Mars rovers get their power from solar panels. So what would happen is the solar panels. They thought that the solar panels in winter, if the batteries would lose a lot of charge during winter. There is no sun in winter, so they would lose, and in summer they would die. So they thought that it would just last for March and summer endurance, but by the namesake endurance. So they park themselves such a way, it's a stroke of luck, that in the beginning of the summer, these dust devils would come and clean up the solar panels and make it ready for the next summer.
Okay.
So they would keep go. They went on for so many years, and then Curiosity was launched. So Mars Endurance, those ones, they were the ones which went and which they took so many cool pictures of Mars, and that pictures of Mars really, and we can talk about the geology of Mars a bit later, but that really gave huge impetus. There was Mars orbiters. So they would send a rover to the lander, and then there would be an orbiter. So lander would take very cool pictures, and then it would beam it to the orbiter, and the orbiter would send. So that's how they did a lot of mapping of Mars, surface of Mars. And then Curiosity was the one before Perseverance. The main aim of Curiosity was finding out if Mars had ever some life in it. That was the aim for Curiosity. All the instrumentation Curiosity was trying to drill small holes, try to have a magnifying glass, look for any ever microbe, any life existed or is still existing. So it was looking for sort of a fossils, microbial fossils, or some microbial activity, anything of that sort. But they couldn't find anything, and Perseverance is what that's going to be the next step, and we can talk about what is Perseverance going to achieve. And I have to mention, with Perseverance, a new a cool technology was sent down to the surface of Mars called Ingenuity. It's like a drone. It's like a helicopter drone,
Yeah.
which is the first sort of an helicopter, sort of a robot to fly in another planet. So it, they're both safe on the surface of Mars.
Yeah.
So cool.
So yeah. So in I was watching about that helicopter. I was watching, I think a couple of days ago, they were talking about it. The atmosphere on Mars is a lot thinner than it is on Earth. So having that controlled flight to come up with that helicopter, it took a lot of ingenuity. It took a lot of work on NASA's behalf. So what is that helicopter going to do?
It's just a demonstration. It's just a demonstration to see what it is. A test flight. It will take exactly what you said. The density of the air is very important to know, because the density of the air is which gives the lift to the helicopter. So they have certain examples of density of air. They don't know how the density of the air changes with the height. They don't know any of these characteristics. So these are all the characteristics which will be found out with this ingenuity. And then the main idea is to build a base. So when you're building a base, the big thing is you need a lot of drones to do a lot of work. And imagine Mars atmosphere is not suitable for humans. So you need these drones to do a lot of heavy lifting, carrying stuff to other places and everything. So this is, as I said, this is like a first big step to build infrastructure for to build an infrastructure for human civilization.
So you said Curiosity went up there to find out if there is life on Mars. How did they figure that out?
They haven't figured that. They have been trying to, but they didn't really find any.
So Curiosity, was it a success?
It's a success in a huge extent. So we know the biochemistry.
What did it do?
So Curiosity has this. Curiosity's main is a geological mission. So what they went and realized that the Mars had huge amount of water at some point, and which we knew from the pictures of the orbiters were sending, but also it took very close pictures of sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are formed when sediments are deposited under huge bodies of water, usually big oceans. So Mars at some point had huge oceans. That has been and then when everyone knew that there was large amount of water, and when there is water, there could be some life in it. So Curiosity went and drilled small holes, took soil samples, and did spectrometric measurements to see. So bacteria, if you have bacteria in it, there would be some sort of a chemical significance to it. So if there is a totally abiotic environment, you would not see these chemical signatures. Only bacteria could alter the chemicals in such a way that only a life could produce. Even the life has extinct for a lot of years, then the chemical signatures would be there. So they tried to find those chemical signatures. There's some tentative signals, but no such eureka movement. Nothing has been found out. But Curiosity is still working. It is climbing big mountains, and then it goes and finds a place, and then it goes and studies very, very significant detail these rock formations, and sees what happened. Why did Mars lose all the water? No one really knows, like, what happened to all that water. Where did it disappear?
So it's still there. It's still active.
Yeah.
Some of the landing gear of Curiosity and Perseverance is quite similar. And so do you know anything about the sky crane?
Yeah, the sky crane. The picture you showed, that's a very cool picture. Can you put that back where you showed that picture where there was a photographer on the ground taking pictures?
That's the picture of Mars, where a photographer was waiting for Perseverance to land, and that photographer took that photo as soon as it landed. No, that's not true. That was a simulation that NASA created and released that before the landing.
Yeah, so you talked about failed experiments, and if you remember Chandrayaan, India tried to send a lunar rover as well. So India, there are various ways of, because these are coming at really, really high velocity. So Dr. Swati Mohan was talking about the velocity coming in, and
no, hold up. You're talking about the sky, the crane. You're going to talk about the crane. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
I
So
thought you got distracted. Never mind. Okay.
no, so the Dr. Swati Mohan was talking about the velocity with which this is coming. So this was decelerating. At some point, it was traveling 100 meters per second, and then they apply a huge amount of deceleration with those rocket motors are the reverse thrusters. So the ones you are seeing, they are reverse thrusters. So what they're doing is they're creating opposite acceleration, so that's which they're decelerating against gravity. But that's not enough, because Mars's gravity is not huge enough to decelerate fast enough. So they tried various methods. One was this big ball. So the ball keeps rolling, the ball keeps bumping, and then it stops at some point, and then the rover comes out. It failed. It worked sometimes, it failed sometimes, and so Indian Chandrayaan failed because of that too. So in that, you have to figure out the ball has to land a certain way, and all this bumping should not change the. So NASA has figured out this sky crane. So what they do is they hover at certain distance and slowly deploy the rovers with those deploying mechanism, and then once it's deployed, those strings get detached, and the lander goes away. The
Okay.
lander flies away and crashes somewhere else far away, and the rover, it doesn't crash anywhere close. It goes away far away and crashes, and the rover is on its own there. That's
So
the.
so at first the lander goes down. So
Mhm.
what if the lander, when it lands, it crashes, or there's this jagged rock there, or a surface, an uneven surface there, and it falls apart? And then
Yeah,
what?
so that's a very good question. So the lander has lot of instruments to measure that. It has radar, and it has some very sharp cameras. So it, as soon as it's coming down, the radar gets activated, the heat shield first gets thrown away, and the radar gets activated, the camera gets activated. And remember that the signal takes 12 minutes from Mars to travel to Earth. So there is no, humans can't really control, can't really navigate these to land it. So the camera and radar are programmed to find, not, they don't go to the hill, but because they can see from at least 10 kilometers what sort of a radar gives a very rough image, but and then it calculates, and it knows. Mars is mapped quite finely, so they exactly know the GPS coordinates of Mars. So they come there, and then the radar takes good image, there are pictures, and then the computer navigates the lander to the most safe place, so that the rover can land without, so that all the wheels are all on very similar surface, not like the big wheel is sitting on a big rock, so that it gets knocked.
So I read somewhere that perseverance, an advantage, or what's a development, how would you say that it's better, like something that improved, an improvement over the previous rovers, is that it has the navigational system inbuilt into it, the one that you were just talking
Mm-hmm.
about, where it sees the surface before landing. So where it is, if it says, or if it sees a surface or senses a surface that is not appropriate for its landing, it would not land.
Yeah.
But okay, so what was I going to say? So we were talking about, so the landing. You said that it takes 12 seconds for the signal to come to
12
Earth.
minutes.
Oh, 12 minutes. You said
Yeah.
12 seconds.
Okay, I'm sorry, 12 minutes.
So that's what I was like, 12 seconds. That's way too fast.
Oh, I'm
That's
glad
way
you
too
caught
fast.
that. I thought I said 12 minutes.
No, yeah. So that threw me off for a second there. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't think 12 seconds is way too fast. All right. So for, I think it took an entire 7 minutes. They said that it's 7-minute period for it to land, the critical time.
Mm-hmm.
So for that entire 7 minutes, or however long, well, it was 7 minutes. So the team here on Earth, they were going blind and deaf on it.
So what happens is, as soon as the lander detaches from the main orbiter, so there are two aspects. There is an orbiter going around the Mars right now. So when it orbiter has all the communication. So once the lander detaches from the orbiter, the lander doesn't have most of the communication. The lander, what lander does is it just sends it's a small pulse, like they call it a heartbeat. So it just says that I am alive, I am alive, I am alive, and once it goes on, it goes on its own automatic mode. So the rover does all the computer on the rover does all the navigation and decisions on landing and everything. So since as soon as it's detached, it keeps it's automatic on its own. So all they hear is their heartbeat. Once the sky crane is deployed, that's when it starts sending signals to the and the sky crane is deployed. The sky crane is disengaged. Once the lander is on the surface, it's immediately programmed to reach out to the satellite, to the orbiter, and then it starts communicating to the orbiter.
Yeah, so I heard Dr. Swati Mohan say that she hears the heartbeat, so everything is okay, everything is good. Yeah. So they landed Perseverance on Jezero crater, and it is apparently the terrain there is quite rough. There's lots of boulders, there's cliffs, there's dunes, but they landed there for a particular reason. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so there are various reasons. So they all these they suit this they choose these landing sites for various reasons. And I think the main reason to choose for this is for them to, and it's a hugely exposed crater. So they want to get as much, first thing is they want to get as much sunlight as it's possible. They want to know, they have various experiments to do. They think that they could extract some water from the soil, and so they want to do some purification of this water. So they think that this crater would be one of those potential sites for a human base. It's that's basically, these craters can't these rovers can't really travel for long distances. So they would want to choose a big crater, and then the crater walls are usually really high. It's like 2 or 3 kilometers tall. So these craters are formed by huge meteorites hitting the surface of Mars, and so these crater walls are really high. So that's climb out. So they want to take a big, one of the thing is a huge crater where they think that there could be some sort of a water, and mainly sunlight, so that they could get a lot of sunlight for it to charge.
Yes, you mentioned water, so I did again. I read, and I read that billions of years ago, this is a 49-kilometer wide crater. It was filled with water, which flowed into it from a nearby river or some watershed.
It's a basin. So, and there are
right now there's no water in it. So billions of years ago there was water in it. So there could be microbes, or there could be a lot more information there than it would be anywhere else.
And there would be, the other thing is, where did the water grow? If the water is just under the surface, so what could have happened is the water seeped into the surface and it got frozen. So there could be a huge glacier. It could be a huge ice deposits under the. So they want to say there is a drill bit. They would like to drill into the soil, and then they will take the core samples. Like taking a core sample is a very hard thing to do. So it has a drill bit. It takes a core sample is take a small piece of the rock.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a couple of questions. Anusha says, I hear they're collecting soil and rock samples. What significance does this have in establishing if life exists on Mars? So that's what you're talking about.
We want to know if we have cousins or not. So, we would like to know. Extraterrestrial life is very important for us. Curiosity. That's what it is. Like, it's curious to know what's so special about Earth. Why did the life start existing in Earth, and why not Mars, when it had very similar atmosphere at some point in our shared history, geological history, and the soil and rock samples. So this is the main reason is soil and rock samples is idea is to study what happened. Like, why did Mars become Mars, and why did Earth become Earth? And that's the main reason.
And how would that help science progress?
Oh, well, we need to study space. The next frontier is space. We need to understand how to what happened, like what could happen to Earth, what happened in Mars, why did the water survive in Earth, why didn't the water survive in Mars. These are all lot of very important questions. And why did it, what happened to life in Mars? I mean, these are many important questions. Like, science is there to answer these lot of questions. And the big
And perhaps send people to Mars
that
eventually.
yeah, that's like, well, that has nothing to do with whether life existed or not. But as I said to start this video, that the big motivation for perseverance is how to establish at least start thinking about establishing a human base in Mars. And talking about the rock samples, so the perseverance will do all the tests. It does spectroscopy, lot of tests. It does itself, and takes its core samples and goes and deposits it at a safe place. And then a mission which will come, I forgot the mission, in 26 or 28, a mission will come, land, and grab those samples, place it into a rocket, and a rocket will take off from Mars, and then go and link up with an orbiting satellite, with an European Space Union satellite, and then that satellite will try to come back to Earth to get us the samples. So
And
this
they'll
is,
and they will come to Earth by 2031.
yeah, but there are these dates we should take with a pinch of salt. But this is amazing. This is like an interplanetary travel, which we haven't really thought of. So setting up it's like set a rocket taking off from Mars is not thought of. Like, it is unimaginable. And so all of this is coming to, and drone setting up bases, and a rocket launching and coming doing some sort of a conveyance between a transport aircraft between two planets. It's mind blowing. It's like science fiction. We are living through science fiction here.
Yeah, it's exciting. And US is the only country that has landed rovers successfully on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other countries trying to get there
Yeah.
too. China and UAE has they launched their rovers last year as well.
Rovers are just landers. I think they're just landers.
Landers, okay. They launched them last year. China is scheduled to land sometime in April or
Yeah,
May.
landers are landers. They have been doing landers for a time. It's doing rovers is very, very difficult. Like, it is.
Oh, I thought China and UAE sent rovers. Like that's what my understanding was. I
Okay,
don't know.
maybe I didn't read the proper. It could be, but
No.
landers is
I don't know. I don't know on
okay.
this.
Okay, from what I thought, it's landers. Could be rovers too.
Okay, so landers have been sent there before?
Yeah, landers have been sent there before. NASA even sent an InSight mission very recently. So in 2018, so it landed, and it's a geophysics mission. So it's very close to my heart. So it is collecting data on Mars quakes. So it has put seismometers to study the interior of the Mars. So
Okay.
that's what it's doing. So landers have been done. Rovers on the sense, it's a
Okay.
totally different. So there is these landers just plant where they come, and they come with parachutes, and then they do that. So
Okay. UAE just sent a spacecraft into the orbit, and that was their first interplanetary mission.
mm-hmm.
So that was not a rover.
Yeah,
And
rover is very hard.
orbiter and lander from China is set
Mm-hmm.
to arrive
Mm-hmm.
as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So rovers is just the US then.
Mm-hmm. Rovers are the pinnacle of Indian ingenuity. Yeah, it's this is taken with a selfie stick. This is Curiosity, and it has a selfie stick. So it takes selfies once in a while and it has a cool Twitter account too. So it tweets cool pictures from Mars.
Now, Perseverance would do that too. I think they'd already tweeted one photo.
Perseverance would do Instagram.
Yeah, they're so these
Oh,
countries.
and NASA gendered them, it seems. So they call them she now. So
Oh yeah, she's a she.
yeah,
She's a
so it's
she.
a she. So more Instagram maybe.
Are you
No, no,
labeling?
no. Don't cancel me, please.
All right. So I was going to. So these countries. You said this is Indian ingenuity. So are these countries collaborating? Are any countries collaborating on the Mars mission or?
This Mars mission is with collaboration with European Space Union, European Space Organization (ESA) association. So this is the ESA will send an orbiter which will collect the which is will do all that lifting up of the species, and this robotic arm is in with conjunction with ESA as well. So this is a European Space and NASA collaboration. Yeah, it's right. Then I can say it's an Instagrammable or a TikTok.
Oh yeah. I think they're getting past TikTok too now.
Yeah.
What's Arohi doing these days? She doesn't do
Minecraft.
TikTok.
Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft. All right. I think we've answered all the questions that people have asked. Yeah, if anyone else has questions, please do send us those questions and ask. We're talking about the Mars rover landing, the Perseverance, which landed on Mars today. Let's talk about Dr. Swati Mohan. She's quite a bit of a star now.
Yeah, yeah, see, she wore a bindi, and
Yeah.
that's like a big statement, right? It's like and I saw a lot of Twitter Indian women saying that I was bullied for wearing a bindi, and she was the head of the guidance system, guidance and navigation and control. So she's the one who was from different. She was the one who was handling it from as soon as it guiding it and control and doing all of that. So she's a PhD astrophysicist from MIT. So she's a quite an accomplished scientist and an engineer. So she's the one who did all of that what we talked about, coming and guiding it and using the radar, interfacing it, writing all the code and making sure that it lands, and it did amazing.
Yeah, so yes, even the updates that were being provided, it was her that was providing the updates as well. Yeah, no, I think that was so empowering. I want Arohi to see that photo, and I want all the young girls to see that photo, see that bindi. You can do what you want to do regardless of all the
Who you
barriers
are,
that
yeah.
are put in place. Yeah, no, that's really heartwarming, and that's fantastic for South Asian next generation. You can reach for the Mars if you want to. Okay?
Not only moon, you can go to Mars.
You can reach for the Mars if you want to. When do you think humans can go to Mars, get to Mars?
Yeah, so the whole point of Elon Musk's SpaceX is his idea to go to Mars. So that's what he's pushing on, to go to Mars. NASA can do all of this, but he's building all these big rockets, like the huge heavy lift rockets, which can do all the heavy lifting. So he's saying that by end of this decade, he wants to do that by end of this decade. That's
We won't even get the rock samples that Perseverance is.
yeah, it's a like NASA operates in a different time zone, and Elon Musk operates in a different time zone. So Elon Musk has the powerful rockets which can take humans there. So that's where
My light turned off for some reason. I will be right back. Or maybe we'll just keep chatting and then you keep talking about something and I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
so Elon Musk, the Elon Musk's SpaceX, when he started, maybe we talked about this, but he said that he's going to build these rockets which can carry human and lot of objects, the infrastructure needed to go and set up a base. And the new crew module which he used to take to the ISIS, like the space station, used this rocket. So there is a crew module which they built, SpaceX built, and this crew module is really really light, and which could be used to take astronauts to space. So and he wants to take it within the the rocket technology. Grew leaps and bounds SpaceX. So I think 10 years is a long time. We will see. Okay, 7 or 8 years. We will see there would be a big movement from SpaceX to do some sort of Mars missions.
Then you don't even have to launch a rocket from Perseverance. You can just send humans and they can bring the rocks, or they can go study the rocks
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
The only
It's if
only problem is you need those high-end electron microscopes to study those, and I don't think you can carry them to Mars. You'll
No,
have to
yeah. So that's the thing. These heavy lift rockets could do all of that heavy lifting, but there is a time. So the big path to Mars, going to Mars, is setting up a moon base. That's going to happen very soon. So if you go and set up a moon base, and then launching huge rockets from moon would be much cheaper than launching
What is
big rockets.
gravity? What is the gravity like on Mars?
It is one third or one fourth, but Moon is one sixth. It Mars is half, maybe one third or half. I forgot. But
Okay.
Moon is the one sixth, so it's easier to launch.
How do you cancel that if you have to live there? If you have to live on Mars?
It's very similar to Earth, so it's not such a bad. It's not a big deal. It's Mars is as heavy as Earth. So
So you could actually walk on the ground.
Yeah.
As opposed to Moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Moon is one sixth.
Yeah, so you can't really walk on the moon. Well, you can, but you can't.
Yeah, it's just a very little. Like it's like 3.7, and Earth is 3.98. So it's very similar to.
Oh, so on Mars you can actually put your feet down and you can walk on Mars, just like you can walk on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Because it depends on how heavy the planet is, and Mars is as heavy as Earth.
And once we conquer Mars, we can go further.
Let's conquer Mars first.
Okay.
Where do we go? There are no other habitable planets in solar system, but Titan, which is a moon of Jupiter. That's another. The moons of Jupiter are are some sort much better than the planets. So those are the moons of Jupiter would be the next place. But but if after Mars we have to cross our solar system and find another planet in another.
The moons of Jupiter, do they get a lot of sun?
They do.
But if they're revolving,
so
times like when it's really dark.
Yeah, we really don't know all of that, but habitable places like rocky planets which which are really habitable, or some. So those are the moons of Jupiter, could be something. But
you're like, "Pehla Mars ta kar lo, fir
if in our lifetime, if there is a Mars settlement, I would think that that's a big.
I was going to ask you that question. So my last question before we go is, if we had to settle on Mars, or if there was a Mars settlement and you had the opportunity to go there, would you go? Because I don't know if people would come back. Would they come back?
No. So there was a initiative called Mars One, where they really asked people for a one way trip, and a lot of people signed up. I would sign up too, but I can't leave you and Arohi. But if I didn't have you guys in my life, I would have signed up too.
Yeah, but everyone has someone in their life, so
yeah. But yeah.
All right. So you would go live on Mars, but right
Yeah.
now, in current circumstances, you won't. Maybe when we're both like 85 years old.
Why would they take old people there? It's not a retirement colony there in Mars. I asked Arohi, would she go? She said no. She
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
go.
go. I'm okay here. Like, what's the point?
Oh,
Just,
you would be a pioneer.
just send me pictures, man. Good for you. Your name will be in Wikipedia. Just send me pictures. All right. I think I'm done with all the questions. Any more cool things you have to say?
No, I think we got most of
What's
it.
coming up next for NASA?
What's coming up next for NASA is
Yeah,
bringing up
that's a
samples.
10-year project. Anything coming up soon? Sooner than that?
They have huge other missions of sending cool telescopes to the world to look up at stars, like telescopes in the space. Yeah, but manned space missions, it's the ISIS, which is the International Space Station, which is happening.
And India, what's up with India next mission?
India is still focused on Chandrayaan, so they want to, and they have plans with both. They want to do a rover on Moon, and then they want to take a rover onto Mars. But India is a bit far. I
All
hope
right.
ISRO collaborates with NASA. I hope that happens.
Yeah, because they have the technology.
Mhm.
So why can't it be shared?
It can be shared. I'm not sure. There must be something. I'm not really sure of that. I hope they do.
Maybe India is also trying to cut the expenses as well, right?
Mhm.
They're trying to make it much cheaper. So what NASA probably has is a lot more expensive. So maybe there. I mean,
And
there's
and
always
and and NASA thing works too.
and NASA things works too much.
Chandrayaan failed, right? The rover.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's well. I guess like, what if they come up with a much cheaper alternative to what
Yeah,
NASA has built, right? So there
they're
is an
working. They're working
opportunity
on it.
there.
Yeah, yeah. They're
Yeah.
hugely working on it. Yeah. If
So
they can
there's an
figure out they figure out a Chandrayaan rover, then it's very similar technology. In fact, it's harder to land a rover on Moon rather than on Mars because of the gravity. It's
mm.
much lower gravity. But in both cases, the big thing is automatic way of figuring out, like, all these automated sequences what Dr. Mohan was working on, or those are the important things.
Yeah, no, that'd be really neat because I would love that they collaborate. But at the same time, if they're trying to do it on their own, trying to do it much cheaper, and if they are able to come up with that technology, I think that is a
My
huge.
question is, where is Canada in all of this? I didn't see any Canadian collaboration. There was a Canadian collaboration in Curiosity, because University of Calgary. I worked on this. That we wanted to set up a seismic system on Curiosity. It didn't work out that, but we did collaborate. But I didn't see any Canadian collaboration.
I
There
did
must.
read something about Alberta scientists, something with NASA. I didn't read. I didn't click on the news item. Maybe I should have, but I don't know. I don't know any Canadian collaboration. So anyone watching, if you know anything about a Canadian collaboration on this project on Perseverance, please leave a comment down below. All right, thank you so much. I think this was really cool conversation. I really learned a lot more than
We went longer than you want to.
oh, it's normal now. That's there is so much. I mean, it took 6 months for the rover to reach Mars, and they've been so patient with it. It's incredible. Like, what really intrigues me about space travel or conquering the space frontier is the amount of patience that's required. The fact that they're not going to be able to get the samples to Earth for another, let's say, 10 years from now, right? So that to me is that someone with an incredible amount of patience, someone who is,
Or you're doing it for the next generation.
yeah, like, what if you're not here the next time? What if you're not there when the samples come back and you're not an engineer at NASA? You are retired, you're not working there, or maybe you passed away. I don't know, anything can happen, but you don't know what's going to happen in 10 years. And yet you work on
Small step for you is a huge step for mankind.
man. But it requires a certain, you know, perseverance
Mhm.
and patience, and it's special people to be able to do that.
And
So
grit.
yes, it is intriguing, and it is amazing the work that these people like Dr. Swati Mohan does. And I wish that someone I know could go into NASA. And that's why I asked you, why didn't you go into NASA?
I wish.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right. It was fun. And
Chhatrapati Maharaj ki jai.
जय उर्दू में भी कुछ बोल दो एक दो.
Adab.
वो तो नॉर्मल है, कुछ गुफ्तगू करें.
Oh, I didn't
You didn't
Kalai.
practice?
No, I didn't practice. I wish I did. I was much involved in
Other
giving.
things.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and we will chat with you again next Thursday. Hopefully not Wednesday, just on Thursday, because I don't want you to become a star and overshadow me. No, I'm joking. I really am joking. All right. Thank you so much, and we will chat soon. I'll come upstairs and we'll chat. All right. Talk
Bye.
soon. Bye, Pavan. And you hit that like button, please. If you like that, if you like this video, you will be entered into a draw to win $50 courtesy Calgary Plumbers. Oh, Calgary Service Plumbers. All right, that was Calgary Service Plumber. So any of your plumbing needs, I think they replace your hot water tanks in basement as well. They do remodel basements too. The plumbing equipment there. So please, please, please do contact them. You can go to their website to know exactly what they offer. And of course, if you like this video, you will win $50. And thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you so much for all the support that we've been getting. We're only a couple of months old, but the kind of response that we've been getting for the topics that we're talking about, for the conversations that we're having on here, it has been phenomenal. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your support. It really means a lot. We got another comment, and I love this question. How do I like the video multiple times for multiple entries? You know, I just want to increase my odds. What you do, Gurpreet, is you go to all the videos, all the live videos for this week, and you click and you hit like on them. Then you go onto our Instagram page, TCSan2, and you hit like on each of the posts there as well. And what else can you do? I think that's and then you can also send me a bribe, and maybe I'll pick your name. All right. Thank you so much. You guys have a good night, and we will see, or I will see you on Monday.
We're getting signals from MRO.
UHF is good.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life. At this point, the descent stage has flown away to safe distance. Perseverance is continuing to transmit direct